I will be honest, I never thought that this trade was going to get done. Welcome back, Just Saying Nation, to a brand new video on the channel. Finally, it has happened. Jimmy Butler was traded from the Miami Heat to Golden State in a 5-team blockbuster. One of the biggest trades that I have ever seen in the NBA. And to be honest, I have pretty mixed feelings about this trade. I am very grateful for Jimmy Butler and his time with Miami. We really were in a true place of contention with him, but this has been a pattern for the player over his career. Every organization, the Bulls, the Sixers, the Bucks, the Timberwolves, once he's not happy, he forces his way out of town when things aren't going his way. And this is a feud with the Miami Heat that's been going on for a few months now. After a few suspensions and locker room turmoil, we finally have our answer, and we're going to be breaking down the entire trade for you today. As always, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit that like button to support the video. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. Up first, we have the initial trade reported by Shams Charania on Wednesday night. It is Jimmy Butler going to the Golden State Warriors. He immediately signed a 2-year, $121 million extension with the club after arriving. Then we have 2 second-round picks from the Heat, as well as cash considerations. On the Miami side, they receive Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a 2025 protected first-round pick. My initial impression of this trade was I thought that we got a fantastic return for Butler. He was arguably our best forward on the team. It had been a pretty mixed bag this season. In only 25 games played, he had 17 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. To get 3 players for a player that hadn't played a lot and over the last couple months with all the suspensions, I thought the Miami Heat did really well here. But then we started hearing rumblings of a lot of other moving pieces in this trade. For example, the first kind of news that broke out was that Kyle Anderson was heading to the Raptors. Unfortunately for him, that deal with the Miami Heat fell through, and past the trade deadline, he is going to be staying with the team up until the end of the season. We also got Andrew Wiggins in this deal, and he is an interesting piece. He was a former #1 overall pick in 2014. He was a big part of the Golden State Warriors 2022 championship run, and he has similar stats to Butler. However, he has more games played with 46, so I'll be very interested to see how he does in the lineup for the Heat. It wasn't long after the Kyle Anderson news broke out that we got the full deals of this trade, just how massive it really was. And we're going to be breaking it all down, starting off with Dennis Schroeder heading to the Utah Jazz. Dennis Schroeder heads to the Utah Jazz from the Golden State Warriors, along with Josh Richardson from the Heat, a 2031 second-round pick, and cash considerations. And the Heat received PJ Tucker, who was traded from the Clippers just a few days beforehand. Dennis Schroeder is a serviceable bench player who will be looking to give the Jazz some veteran presence as they kickstart their rebuild. While Josh Richardson is purely a dump from the Miami Heat, the Utah Jazz actually plan to waive him, so he is not in their long-term plans. It came out yesterday. PJ Tucker actually played for the Miami Heat in the 2021-22 season, but at this point in his career, he doesn't offer you much scoring. He is purely just a leadership presence. However, this would not be the final stop for the forward, as PJ Tucker was then traded to the Toronto Raptors along with a 2026 second-round pick and cash considerations. Going back to the Heat is guard Davion Mitchell. Mitchell is only 26 years of age. He hasn't had a great season on the Toronto Raptors, but let's be honest, nobody really has. As the Toronto Raptors look to sell off some assets, it will be interesting to see if Mitchell gets an expanded role in the lineup with the Miami Heat. Moving on to the next part of this trade, and not the only player who would have multiple stops on the road, is guard Dennis Schroeder, who heads to the Detroit Pistons. In exchange, the Utah Jazz received KJ Martin and a 2028 second-round pick. Martin is 24 years of age, so he will be looking to help the Utah Jazz in their rebuild, and Dennis Schroeder goes to his 3rd team within 12 hours. And now we move on to the final part of this blockbuster trade with the Pistons and Warriors portion of it. Golden State gives Lindy Waters III and a 2031 second-round pick to the Detroit Pistons in exchange for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, Lindy Waters is an interesting guy as well. He's 27 years of age, and although he's having a down year this year, he has proven in the past that he can shoot pretty efficiently. So we'll see if he can turn it around in Detroit. So that's it. That is the entire trade. Just crazy how many moving pieces there were, how many teams were involved. But the biggest thing is the Heat can finally breathe. All of the fans knowing that the Jimmy Butler drama is finally resolved. And I think in reality, everyone gets what they want. So there you go. So we'll see how this trade works out for all parties involved. Again, if you like this video, please drop a like. It would just show your support. It would mean a lot to us here at Just Saying. And leave a comment below on any thoughts you have on this trade. Make sure to check out all of our socials that will be linked down in the description below, including our podcast. And if you subscribe on our YouTube, you get day early access to the show. But if you listen on any other platform, it will be out the following day. And we love you on there. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all your support. And we will see you in the next one.